So welcome to day 2 of No Diet December. I have created this series of videos, or I've decided to do this series of videos and podcasts to help you navigate December, to help you understand that December doesn't have to be all about trying to navigate this whole diet system and then feeling guilty about what you're eating and drinking and going into January in a complete panic. So that's what I want to help you with over the course of the next month. Today is the second day of our No Diet December. I suppose it is December the 3rd, 2019. But it's the second day that we're tackling No Diet December. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video or listened to yesterday's episode of the podcast, then please make sure you go ahead and you don't miss out on yesterday's, because it's a good one as well. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about food guilt. I had at least 2 messages last night asking me to cover food guilt, to ask how to stop feeling guilty about eating certain things. So I thought I would come on live this morning and on the podcast and try to explain food guilt and try to help you navigate feeling guilty about eating at this time of year, because it's really not something that we should be feeling guilty about. And it's easy for me to sit here and say, eat whatever you want and don't feel guilty. But I know that that's not how it works, because when you have been on a diet for your entire adult life, which some of you have, December is a really difficult time because of societal pressures from people that we surround ourselves with, people that we work with, family, friends, and then we've also got the media and social media to navigate as well. So there's lots and lots going on at this time of year. People saying that we should be made to feel guilty about what we eat and drink. This comes from now again, this is not a scientific view. This is my personal experience, but hopefully my personal experience can help you as well. This comes from years and years of being on a diet or being subjected to diet culture, where there are a set of rules that you follow for a certain period of time. Now, this can be anything from a slimming club giving you a set of rules, or a diet plan giving you a set of rules, or social media giving you a set of rules, or perhaps you're just imposing rules on yourself. Perhaps you have got your own set of rules that you follow every now and again when you know you are being good. Being good. If you're watching on Facebook, you'll have seen the air quotes. If you're listening on the podcast, I was doing air quotes at the being good part there. So you've given yourself this set of rules and you know what constitutes when you're being good, and you also know what constitutes when you're being bad. And for some reason, either you or someone else have put pressure on yourself this month to be good in the lead up to Christmas. And that means that anything that you or the person or company that have put these rules imposed these rules on you, if you deviate from these rules, it means that you are being bad. And if you're being bad, then you will feel guilty. It's like, this might be a bit of an extreme comparison, but we have social rules, societal rules, and we also have rules that are imposed by the law that say that we should not do certain things. So we shouldn't steal from shops, that's shoplifting. We shouldn't break into someone's house, that's burglary. We shouldn't steal other people's cars, that's theft. And we certainly shouldn't be committing crimes like murder or anything else along those lines. These are all things that are by law bad. And unless you're a complete sociopath or a psychopath, you probably would feel quite guilty about doing one of those things. So stealing a car, breaking into someone's house. burgling their house, stealing their car, committing murder, like all of these things are bad. They're bad, and go ahead and feel guilty about them. Eating food is not a crime. Eating food that you enjoy eating is definitely not a crime. And eating food that is deemed bad by a diet group or diet culture or perhaps self-imposed rules is not something that you should be feeling guilty about. Again, it's easy for me to sit here and say that to you. I know it's not easy to take it on board, especially if for years and years you've been living to these rules, specific rules, and now I'm sitting here telling you that you need to get rid of these rules, because I know for a fact that it's not an overnight thing. But when it comes to feeling guilty about food, especially at this time of year, a lot of it is to do with the environment that we find ourselves in, the rules that we've imposed upon ourselves or had imposed upon us. Because if we're following a set of rules and we fall off of those rules or we break those rules, then guilt is something that can come up. But let me tell you right now, the feeling of guilt is a really heavy, horrible feeling. And it is not something that needs to be associated with what you put in your mouth, food and drink. And the one way that I'm going to talk to you about this morning is to release yourself from these rules. So whatever rules you're following, you are now not following them. You've just unfollowed those rules. You don't have a set of rules now. You don't have a set of foods that you deem as good. You don't have a set of foods that you deem as bad. You now just have food. You now just have food that you eat because you enjoy it, and you eat because you are either hungry or you feel like it. We're going to just do a bit of a flipping exercise as well, a sort of mind flipping exercise, because personally, I think December is a fantastic month for a number of reasons. First reason is that it's the end of a year and we get to look back and reflect on the previous 12 months and think, okay, so what have I achieved this year? If I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve, why is that? If I have, it's time to celebrate. But it's also a great time of year for food. I'm a massive foodie, and I'm sure that a lot of you out there are the same. I love food. I love cooking food. I like going out to eat. I like to see what other cultures do at this time of year. I like to indulge in things that we don't get at other times of year, like mince pies, for example. They're my favourite, by the way. They're my favourite Christmas food. And I like to have a drink with my friends, probably more so than any other time of the year. But it's not something that I have to do all the time because I haven't imposed these rules. So I haven't got these rules of this is good, this is bad. So it means that when I do have something like a mince pie or some chocolate or some stolen bites or some, I don't know, what else is a Christmas food? Matchmakers, after eights. It doesn't mean that I'm going to sit and eat loads of them because I know that tomorrow when I wake up, they're not banned. So if I have a mince pie today, it doesn't mean that I need to eat all 4 of them in the box or 6 of them in the box, because if I wake up tomorrow and I fancy a mince pie, then I can have one because these rules are not there. I haven't said to myself, oh, you better eat all of the mince pies today because tomorrow, no mince pies for you. You've got to be good because you've been bad today. Learning to listen to your body and appreciate that your body knows what it's talking about is important as well. Learning to understand when you are hungry and when you are full is not something that can happen overnight, especially if you're used to listening to a bunch of food rules from either yourself, self-imposed food rules, or from other people. But it is something that you can work on over the course of the next month or two, is just to ask yourself, am I actually hungry right now? Or is this just a craving? Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're no longer hungry. Takes time. But when it comes to feeling guilty about food, I want you to just ask yourself a few questions. Have I imposed rules upon myself, which I am following? If so, is it possible that I could perhaps just say, okay, no more rules, there are no rules, the rules stop now, they stop now. And when you give up those rules, or you decide that you're going to give up those rules, you will feel a sense of relief. Because there are no rules now. I'm going to eat when I'm hungry, I'm going to stop when I'm no longer hungry. I'm going to think, is this food that I'm about to eat going to nourish my body and my brain right now? Is it what I really want, or am I eating it because someone told me that I should? And apply this throughout the whole of December. You do not have to sit and eat everything in one sitting because tomorrow it's going to be banned. If you want to eat a mince pie today, and you want to eat one tomorrow, and you want to eat one every single day throughout the whole of December, then you give yourself permission to do that. And you ask yourself, is this what I really want? Or am I just eating it for the sake of it? That's another thing, but that's for another day. Hopefully this has given you a bit of an insight into the whole food guilt thing today. It's not something that I can, talk about in any great length of detail in the 15-20 minutes that I give myself to do these videos. But if you have enjoyed today's video and it's helped you, and you feel like it might help someone that you know, please just hit the share button. That's all I'm asking you to do. And I'll be back tomorrow for another instalment of No Diet December. If you've got any questions or comments, or you want to get in touch, please just pop the page a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.